Loftier City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation, and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
G'day, Swadikab, Nanu Nanu, Gort Klatu Naruda Victu. It's today we had Tony Tambini, and he was talking about UFOs, fact, fiction, cover-up. So we didn't hear much about the cover-ups, but we heard a lot about the fact and fiction of it. Now, all this started at a fairly young age for you because you had an experience.
Yeah, when I was a lot younger, as I said in the presentation, before the invention of the airplane, I had this experience of actually seeing two disc-shaped objects. They were a gray color, they had a dome on the top, and they traveled across the sky in an unusual manner. And one of the interesting points was that as the lead craft made these maneuvers like this, or not as exaggerated, but it flipped on its edge, and I could see the complete bottom. I can see it was a complete circle. And then right after it did that, it flipped on its edge, and it traveled away from me out towards the west and was lost to sight. And then there was another trailing disc, same size, same color, same shape, did exactly the same thing at exactly the same point in the sky. And again, that has held my interest in this phenomenon for so long.
And you, of course, have a very scientific, you're like an engineer and stuff, and engineers are very rigorous and thorough. And that's one of the things that sort of annoys you about a lot of UFO investigations, is that they aren't terribly thorough in the questions they ask.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one of the things that has irritated me over the years is UFO organizations and investigators never really look in detail at the craft or the occupants. So we don't know any more today about what these things actually look like, how they operate, what the beings, anything about the beings outside of, they were small guys, they had funny eyes, and they walk funny. So the intent of the book was that to have UFO organizations and field investigators look more closely at what's being seen.
So while we think of it, what's the name of the book and how can people get hold of it?
It's UFOs, Close Encounters and Low Flybys. And you can get it anywhere at Amazon, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and you can order it at a bookstore.
You can get the ebook version on Amazon?
I think that the publisher has produced an e-version, but I'm not sure about that.
So one of the things that fascinates me, and this was a question came up at the end, is everybody's carrying around mobile phone, these science fiction devices, mobile phones, etc. But they aren't. We not seem to increase the number of photographs, sightings, or videos we're getting through.
Yeah. That's true. There could be various reasons for this, and I think one of the reasons is, and what I talk about in the book and also at the presentation today, is the Earth goes through these series of waves. And as an example, in 1954, there was this big wave of UFO sightings, primarily in France. And then in 1957, there was another big wave. So we might be in a lull period here where these visitors might be accumulating their data, processing their data. And actually, we might be undergoing a similar wave with these dark triangles.
Well, I thought the talk was really interesting, and people were very attentive to it and stuff. So if you're at all interested in UFOs, whether you're skeptical or otherwise, have a look at this talk. I thought probably the most interesting talk was the start of it, with the policeman and his experiences that he recovered his missing 20 minutes under hypnosis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took place in Ashland, Nebraska, and it was a policeman. And one of the things I talk about, policemen have reputations to uphold in their communities. So it's very unusual for a policeman to come forward and say, "I saw a flying saucer," and I talked to the guys inside of it.
And he even drew pictures of the instrumentation, etc., but not to an engineer's satisfaction.
Yeah, it's one of the things that kind of irritates me. Being in aviation for aerospace for 45 years, I'm used to looking at something and saying I'm seeing something in detail. And unfortunately, as I said, UFO organizations don't do that. They give you this cartoon drawing that somebody drew two soup plates stuck together, a couple of legs sticking out from under it. And from an engineering perspective, I would have liked to have found out, were there any seams? Did you see any panels? Anything that looked like actuating devices? Things like that. We could learn a little bit about their technology.
So it's a very well-structured book and a very well-structured talk, and I really hope there are aliens, because as I say, following Monty Python, I hope there's intelligent life somewhere out there in outer space, because there's bugger all down here on Earth. But we did get a very intelligent talk from Tony Tambini today about UFOs, facts, fiction, or cover-up. Check it out.